Hey everybody, so we are on our way to the kitchen job and we're going to meet with, I believe, Juan from the countertop place, and they are going to go through the process of measuring the counters and the stone and we'll go through that process of how they measure and lay that out. There's a number of different ways that I've done that. Different companies do it. We'll go through the process of these guys, how they do it, and yeah, kind of take you along on that. And then if we're able to get there when they do the install, I'll try to do that. It's just more of timing where everybody's going to be at. But so at least we get there for the measure, and we'll take a look at that process.
Hey there, this is Juan with M&C Granite Countertops. We're here to measure a nice big kitchen area. We got our ProLiner Series 7 here, so we can get all exact measurements. Got our nice mechanical string here. We go ahead and take various points with this pointer here all along the wall and the back edge of the kitchen perimeter to get our exact layout, to see if there's any unevenness, any kind of unlevel or mishap in the wall there. We'll get that cut nice and straight, or nice and to the exact angle of the wall, and definitely helps out a lot.
Great.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab a couple of points here. We'll go ahead and get it started. Grab our 3 points of origin here, so that way we know where the area we're measuring within. Now we can move on to the fun stuff.
So you just kind of give a rough, kind of get the general area, and then you're going to come back and then you just start refine it from there.
Yep, so that way that sets up our plane of measurement, so that way we know we're measuring just in this certain area. If I wanted then to change the plane and do like a full wall measurement, I could always do that afterwards as well. But this knows we're just dealing with a nice flat surface to start with. So we got our 1 point. We're just going to go through drawing various little points here about 6 to 8 inches apart, just to get that nice form of the wall there. Very important, want to make sure that this line doesn't get messed up with anything there, so always good to have someone watching your back.
All right, so now you can kind of see where we're starting on the wall, coming back, and we jog out for our window, come back, and then return.
So now we got the outside perimeter of the kitchen. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to the inside. We're going to close our final point, and now we're just going to go ahead and start grabbing from the actual cabinet faces. Actually, nice thing is we can always go back and adjust. So in this case, our cabinet is going to end right over here on the line he told me earlier. There we go.
So will this one here, since this is not in the right place, you'll have to do an adjustment on the software then?
Correct. So right here, I already have it marked where it's supposed to finish on that one line there.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do is later on my CAD software, I'm gonna go ahead and just make the lines go from here out to because this is gonna be the end of our actual cabinet there. So from there, we're just gonna go straight from there to the back.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna make sure that it doesn't come to this end here.
Yep. Okay.
So we can actually move on to our farmhouse sink, and we can see, look at the outside dimensions of the sink. Inside dimensions, so I know exactly how big to make this guy.
So do you normally overhang the sink or keep it flush or sit back, or is that a client choice?
Client preference for sure. So at that point we have the option of either we can overhang it about 1/8. If they want flush in, we can leave it nice and flush to the rim of the sink, or if they want to reveal to show a little bit of that porcelain, we can even knock it back about 1/8. So you have a nice little reveal there.
Okay, great.
But now if you look on here, we have the layout of our outside dimensions of our farmhouse sink, and then the inside dimensions. That we know exactly where everything's supposed to be. I'm going to give a little radius of these guys here. Actually, won't need it in the front, just in the back. But the more information doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Now that we got all that, let's throw a couple reference points for myself so I know which one's my left and which one's my right side. Just gonna sneak past it here.
Yep. All right, so we're all measured up. Couple 2 to 3 weeks. Depending on timing, they should be able to install those countertops. This particular job, we're using soapstone, what the client is wanting, and a farmhouse sink. So they use a probe, and it basically just goes around and digitizes a plan. Other ones I've seen where they actually come in and they will they put little dots all over the place, and then they take photos, and then they just digitize it. There's a couple different ways to do it. Like sometimes I've seen where you can order out a counter, like if you're doing a Formica or something like that that's complicated, you can give them dimensions, and then what they do is they'll send you out a template. So if Formica counter, that corner might not be 90 degrees, it might be 99 degrees, it might be 95 degrees, it can vary. So what they'll do is they'll send out a really thin filmed template with the dimensions you had, and then if there's any variation in the wall and in corners and stuff, that you can actually mark that up and send it back, and they'll redo it for you. You still have some fitting on that type of counters, but with the ones that they're doing now with these stone, there's no fitting them once they go into the job site. They are cut at the shop. They come in and they're done. There's no real adjustment that they do on that, so they need to make these dimensions really accurate and make sure it fits the first time. So this expensive stone, and whether you're using granite, stone, or whatever product you're going to use, it's expensive, and a small mistake can be pretty costly. So anyway, so now we've gotten through all that process of getting it measured, and we'll move on to either building some doors or looking at drawers, and there's a couple different more things we need to do. So yeah, until next time, have a good one.